Hey guys, Mr. Reagan here, and just coming to you from the technology department of the district. And we're looking at some different tech tips, trying to provide more opportunities for you guys to do a little bit of research, a little bit of understanding on your own that doesn't require us to go to a different classroom for training. Yeah, so what we've got here is I wanted to provide an opportunity for you guys to see what it is that we're doing within our news program and how it could be applied maybe to the classroom. So you'll notice the background that I've got here, the Tech Tips for Mr. Reagan. That was created in a resource. Let me show you over here. Click, 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 exit out over here. And a resource called Canva. And Canva is a really good resource that all teachers have access to. You can sign in with your school-generated email account and you have free everything that you need to do. Now, what is really unique about it is that you can create different designs for backgrounds to enhance your education. For example, let's just do an educational presentation. When I click on educational presentation, that's going to give me that 16 by 9 formatting. And in that 16 by 9 formatting, you've got all these different pre-made presentations that have already been done for you. But let's say you want to be very specific about what you want to do. Let's take Jamboard, for example. So if I go over to this Jamboard over here, one of the things that I notice is that when it was created, we've got, I mean, there's some stickies that the kids put out that are really kind of nice, and it's nice that they can put it in and move them around, and that's a great concept. It's a good, Jamboard's a good interactive tool for kids to kind of work together. But the problem is when you create a Jamboard like that, they can also move around what it is that you've put in there. So the question becomes is how do I make a Jamboard with pieces that the students can input and move to, but not necessarily something else that I'd like. Let's say if we were taking down some data, for example. If I go back over to Canva, now there's my presentation. If I go back over to Canva, I can, I'll just go ahead and start it from scratch. I can just type in the word grid paper up here. And that can give me all these different examples of grid paper that I can put on a presentation slide. So let's say I wanted to create a graph that I didn't want the kids to be able to kind of adjust the grid paper to. I can put this grid paper over here, resize it to my background to where we can input a graph. And that can give me that negative space on the other side that will be a little bit more tailorable to those sticky notes that students can put input on. Doesn't look quite exactly the way that I want it to. I want to go ahead and I'm going to go back to this particular image, and I want to color that a darker gray to make those sticky notes pop out a little bit better and make the image a little bit more present. And I want to give that one a name, so I'm going to go over here to the left-hand side. I'm going to call that, I don't know, let's go, that looks fancy. And Canva is really cool because you've got all these neat little inserts that you can put in. Yeah, let's just do this one just to make it a little funky. We're going to call this data collection. Now, what's different about this than what we could do with, say, slides or even PowerPoint is just the amount of total resources that we've got. I'm going to go ahead and resize this one over here to make sure that the collection goes into one word. I'm going to put data collection over here. I'm going to resize both of these, maybe put them to about 100 points over here and 100 points over here. And we can call that data collection. Now, we'll call this data collection as a chart. Now, when I take this, what I can do with it is I can download it. I'm going to download it as a JPG, a PDF standard, a PDF print, all these different file types that you can download it as. I'm going to make it a JPG, and then I'm going to go ahead and download it. And I'm going to call this data collection. Now what I've got is if I wanted to create a Jamboard, I can go over to here and I can create a new one. And in that new one, I can go ahead and set my background. Now you'll notice this block over here where we can upload that image. So I'm going to go back over and I'm going to browse. And in browse, I'm going to find that image that I just put up there. And boom. Now we've got a board that we can use where we can mark up. We can even change the color of those markings. Let's make that a little yellow. We can change the thickness of it. The students and you can create sticky notes. I think this is the data. Save. And the students can create these sticky notes to put in over here to where you can interact together in a space that you've tailored to what the existing background is going to be, and then the students can come in and then collaboratively kind of work together. You know, a good application of this is maybe working on some of that SEL language, like I think your answer is correct because, or I disagree with you but think you were good with this because, yeah, just using it as an SEL opportunity for students to kind of collaborate together. Well, that's a collaboration where we could put Canva and Jamboard. We can smash those two both together and hopefully come up with some useful tools that we can use in the classroom. That's our tech tip for the day, and see you guys on the next one.